Okay, here we are, Hardway Garage. There's the sign. Number one son Drew and I on Old Blue. As you can see, the rear axle seals were leaking grease and into the hubcap, which is not good. So we bought new, new rear axle seals, readily available at Advance Auto Parts, like $5 a piece. And these floater rear ends are really pretty easy. There you can see the axle. You take out those 8 bolts on the end, 3/4, and the axle pulls right out of the center unit. Now I've done this before because before I sold the truck the first time, I changed the rear end pig from a 456 to a 410. It was a little more friendly on the highway, which didn't make a whole lot of difference because it's a 54 Chevy pickup. So it's never good on the highway. So basically we're just gonna clean that up, that end there, clean up that end a little bit, put the new gasket on there with some RTV on both sides of it, torque the bolts to 90 foot-pounds for the specification, and that's it. The axle, you know, it came out fairly easy. It was a little bit stiff towards the end pulling it out, but that means it's a good tight fit of that spline into the rear end. So the other thing you'll notice, we've got the truck quite a bit higher on the left than the right, as you can see. That way all the rear end oil did not come pouring out of this side. Matter of fact, as you can see in the pan there, we lost very little. And it appears the original gasket was metal, which is probably why it's leaking, because those metal gaskets, once they're used once, they're pretty much no good. And since I changed this rear end a while back, I probably should have put new gaskets on these axles, but I didn't. So anyway, not a big deal. We're actually putting some different tires on it also. Took off these 715 all nylon truck tires, which rode like a truck tire. And we're putting on these radials that Drew happened to have here that he wasn't using, and they're almost the exact same size. I think they're 235 75 15s. Now notice that has a rim ring on the front of it, which I call a split rim, but the guy at the tire place did not call it that. He called it something else. Well, it's one of those things you got to be careful with as a tire person, apparently, because that ring can pop off of there if you don't know what you're doing with tires. So anyway, that's the story for today. I did get my new license plate, authentic 54 Chevy or 54 Michigan plate assigned to this truck. Got my registration yesterday in the mail. So as a classic vehicle that you only drive now and then, you can put an authentic plate on it for $35 with the state, and it's good forever. You never have to renew it, which is even a better deal than a historic plate. So that's the story for today. Nothing else going on. There's the hubcaps that are going back on it. Just trying to keep the truck as original as possible.